Robert Kilwardby OP was an Archbishop of Canterbury in England and a cardinal. Kilwardby was the first member of a mendicant order to attain a high ecclesiastical office in the English Church. Life. Kilwardby studied at the University of Paris, then was a teacher of grammar and logic there. He then joined the Dominican order and studied theology, and became regent at Oxford University before 1261, probably by 1245. He was named provincial prior of the Dominicans for England in 1261, and in October 1272 Pope Gregory X appointed him as Archbishop of Canterbury to end a dispute over the election. Kilwardby was provided to the archbishopric on the 11th of October 1272, given the temporalities on the 12th of December 1272, and consecrated on the 26th of February 1273. Kilwardby crowned Edward I and his wife Eleanor as King and Queen of England in August 1274, but otherwise took little part in politics. He instead concentrated on his ecclesiastical duties, including charity to the poor and donating to the Dominicans. In 1278 Pope Nicholas III named Kilwardby Cardinal Bishop of Porto and Santa Rufina. He then resigned Canterbury and left England, taking with him papers, registers and documents belonging to the see. He also left the see deep in debt again, after his predecessor had cleared a debt. He died in Italy in 1279 and was buried in the Dominican convent in Viterbo, Italy. While in theory this was a promotion, probably it was not, as the Pope was unhappy with Kilwardby's supportive efforts to resist the payment of papal revenues and with the lack of effort towards the reforms demanded at the Second Council of Lyon in 1274. Kilwardby's theological and philosophical views were summed up by David Knowles, who said that he was of conservative eclectic, holding the doctrine of seminal tendencies and opposing the Aristotelian doctrine of the unity of form and beings, including man. Some sources state that he was the author of Summa Philosophiae, a history and description of the schools of philosophical thought then current, but the writing style is not similar to his other works, and Knowles, for one, does not believe it was authored by Kilwardby. It has been alleged that Kilwardby was an opponent of Thomas Aquinas. In 1277 he prohibited the teaching of 30 theses, some of which have been thought to touch upon Thomas Aquinas' teaching. Recent scholars, however, such as Roland Hissett, have challenged this interpretation. Works. Writings on grammar, Commentaria Priscianus Minor. Writings on logic, Notuli super Librum Praedicamentorum. Notuli super Librum Perihermeneias. Notule Libri Priorum. Notule Libri Posteriorum. Commentum super Librum Topicorum. Notuli super Librum Porphyrii. De Natura Relationis. Priorum Analyticorum Expositia. Notule super Librum Sex Principiorum. Writings on natural philosophy de Spiritu Fantastica sive de Receptione Specierum. De Tempore. Plus writings on ethics, Quaestionis supra Libros Ethicorum. Quaestionis in Librum Primum Sententiarum. Quaestionis in Librum Secundum Sententiarum. Quaestionis in Librum Tertium Sententiarum. Quaestionis in Libram Quartum Sententiarum. De Ortu Scientiarum. De Tempore has been translated and edited by Alexander Brodie, and published his On Time and Imagination, Part 2. Introduction and Translation. A critical edition of De Ortu Scientiarum was published by Albert G. Judy, for the Pontifical Institute of Medieval Studies in 1976. Kilwardby was also the author of a summary of the writings of the Church Fathers, arranged alphabetically, Tabulae Super Originalia Patrum, edited by Daniel A. Callis. Citations. Lawrence, 13th century, English Church and the Papacy p. 146. Knowles, Evolution of Medieval Thought p. 288. Left Paris and Oxford Universities pp. 290–293. Greenway, Faster Ecclesia Anglicani 1066–1300. Volume 2. Monastic Cathedrals. Canterbury. Archbishops. AB Fried, al. Handbook of British Chronology p. 233. Mormon Church Life p. 371. AB Bellinger and Fletcher Princes of the Church p. 173. Mormon Church Life p. 173. Prestwich Edward I p. 249. Knowles Evolution of Medieval Thought p. 249. Knowles Evolution of Medieval Thought p. 287. Burton, Monastic and Religious Orders pp. 206 to 207.